we're officially back to work.
You gotta make it work, so you will.
We ain't your enemies. We your friends.
I don't believe you. I gotta get back on top.
It's almost over. Okay. All right, how are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
BlackTree.
Good. So Power Season 2 is here. Took a while. We've all been waiting. What was the hold-up?
It wasn't a hold-up. This is usually the period of time that they would be developing the second season. Absolutely. It's just people got extremely passionate about it as we got towards the end of the actual series, and then it was like, yo, what you mean it's over to next?
Oh yeah.
How long?
People don't
started taking Starz out the cable package.
You know, just like a bullet is getting shot into somebody's shoulder, it made a hole, and they were like, "What am I missing? I'm missing something." Oh wait, it's Power.
No, I had to like renew my Starz. I was like, what's going on?
For so long, the gap in between, but it's now that the second season is right here now. I'm excited about it because the second season is probably 10 times better than the first season now that we've established the characters. That we took the time to pace ourselves to allow people to be invested in the characters individually.
Right.
You know, so they love some characters, they hate some characters, but they have feelings about everybody in it.
Right.
You know, and that's what I think makes a real, story that people want to follow.
Can't have one without the other. You can't have pleasure if you don't know pain.
Exactly. And speaking of characters, towards the end, you play the mentor towards for Tommy and Ghost. Towards the end, we find out that you're the one that's actually sabotaging their business.
Yeah.
Is this a power move or
absolutely.
is this a personal?
It's a power move because they benefited the most while I was away. So now they've developed something that's a little more advanced than I would have developed even if I was on the street, because I would have stuck to what I knew originally. Right. And it's more of aggressive style of, if now that we're stronger, we got a stronger crew, we got more money, we can take their corners. Okay. And instead of controlling it by people that I put there to do different things, instead of just associating myself with others who already have control of things. They went a route where they became the biggest distributors to the city, and everybody needs them to continue to function business-wise, and let them farm that area because that's their area, but we'll get the money off of it. When I would have just took the area, so I can control the entire
100% owner.
Okay, so that's how you're coming in season 2, where you just want to take over. You know?
The whole thing. And then when I realized it's a little more sophisticated, if Ghost was there before I got out, Tommy would have came to me. Because it would have been someone new that he can allow to play the role that Ghost was playing and be comfortable, and he's still communicating with everybody doing the same job.
And acclimate back to that model if that's what you want, because he knows that way too.
Yeah, because he's more built that way. Like, he's more aggressive. He'll do more damage than Ghost will. Yeah. You know, and it's because the growing up, that journey, just being in the neighborhood.
You had that. It was the muscle, dynamic. And then which I love very much. And speaking of your character, you're his like best friend and partner, and then you're his mentor. So you know how his mind works, and he's having a hard time trying to move from illegal hustling to legal hustling, and he's constantly running through obstacles. Right. Why do you think he's having so much trouble in both
I think he's made it to a point where he's so successful, he's looking at, like he's at the roof of the situation, and where do I go from here? So now he's following the dream that has been embedded in him from his dad. It's his father's dream on the nightclub, actually. And in doing that, Tasha wants things to stay exactly the way they are. We made it. I just want things to stay the way they are. And because it's an old folks' home for drug dealers, you know, Ghost feels like there's something waiting in the wings for him that he doesn't want to meet. And Angela's representation of if you chose to do things a different way. And because she has no idea he's a drug dealer, she treats him like the guy that he wants to be momentarily, you know. So he escapes everything that he is when he's around Angela for that time period. And it's interesting because people create those things for themselves just in life in general. It's like they'll have a woman at home that knows all of their business, their financial status, everything about them, and then the other woman becomes exciting because she has no idea are the details of where he's at.
Right.
And he can see her once every 2 or 3 months, but when he does,
it's like new.
he could blow the money like it don't mean nothing.
He could also be whatever he wants to that woman.
To that woman. He
can present himself and
pretend to be anything else.
She don't know.
He's also running into so many problems, I think, because he has always had the street structure of the drug game to say, like, at the end of the day, I can just kill him.
Right.
And now you can't just kill the community board.
Right.
I mean, not all of them, or it'd be really tough.
Right.
And especially if you want to keep going in this legitimate way. You can't kill all the police who you now have to work with in that community.
Right.
So he's being presented with new problems, and we get to watch him negotiate and work his way through that.
Okay. And lastly,
Everything I put together was all going in one night.
What if that bullet was meant for you? Can you think of anyone might want you dead?
If he'd have been dead when I got out like we planned, we didn't run the whole shit. Tommy, tell me anything I want to know. We at war with ghosts.
Ghosts ain't been thinking too clearly. What's going on?
You can't trust Angela, a federal prosecutor, a United States attorney.
Lastly, your character seems like you love his old self. You don't really like him and his new life, and
because it's taking him further away from me.
From you. Yeah. So it's
a lot of us are struggling to all have ghosts.
Tommy's relationship with him while he's coming up was the 2 closest people to each other coming up to the ranks, actually doing things. Tasha's a soundboard. She's somebody you can bounce that
and we saw
the
your
information
relationship
off. But when he starts with Angela, he starts not paying attention to the things that are going on within the business. And that sets the alarm off in his head, saying that she got you going stupid again like she did when they were kids. You know, so it's like it's deja vu almost, because he was in love with her in the past, and now he's starting to, you know, drift back over there.
Okay, well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you very much.